more comfortable, and I used it during my birthing time, and it helped me have a more comfortable birth. And it's really an invaluable tool, and I recommend it to all of the mamas in my birthing class. So I would love to share with you some of the ways that I used it. So I'm going to demonstrate some exercises that I used and some postures that I used my birthing ball for. So during early pregnancy, before my baby got big, before my belly got too big, I used it to build up my core muscles. When I got pregnant, I had a really bad back, and so it was really important that I built up all of my core muscles so that I could support my baby without putting extra strain on my back. And even if you don't have a bad back, it's so important to do that. Basically, your core muscles are all of the muscles in here, all of the muscles in your back, and that's what you are going to need to build up to support your baby, because as your body grows and as your baby grows, there's going to be more strain placed on your ligaments and that's placed on your back. And if you build up your core muscles nice and strong, then instead of your back being the support for your baby or your ligaments being the support for your baby, your muscles are going to be the support for your baby. So one of the exercises that I did during my first trimester was this one. And you want to make sure before you start trying this exercise that you're comfortable on the ball, that you feel comfortable, that you're not going to fall off. So get comfortable on the ball before you try this. But once you do, you want to lay over the ball and slowly walk yourself out to where the ball is about in the middle of your thighs. And you hold that posture. And you feel that all of your abdominal muscles are flexed. Once you get used to this posture and you want a little bit of a challenge, you could walk yourself even further to where the ball is about where your shins are. And you're going to hold that posture for as long as you feel comfortable, and then you slowly walk yourself back. And this exercise is basically rocking on the ball, and you could use this throughout your entire pregnancy, and you could even use it during your birth. What this rocking on the ball does is it adds flexibility to your hips, it opens up your hips, and during your birthing time it expands your pelvis and it makes more room for your baby to come out. So you want to get comfortable with this movement so that when your birthing time comes, it'll be like second nature. So you start just by rocking side to side. You can put your hands on your hips or you could cradle your baby. And it feels really great. You feel it right here in your hips. You feel it just easing all of that tension. Is an absolutely incredible movement that you should learn during your pregnancy, because spiraling really helps your baby come down. It's really simple. It's just basically making big circles. And it's really easy to do on the ball and really comfortable to do on the ball. And during my birthing time, I spiraled probably the whole entire time, and it was awesome. When you have your pressure waves come on you, feel this intensity, and if you just sit still, it builds and it starts to become painful. But if you move it through, you just kind of spiral it through, you're not letting it build in your stomach, you're kind of moving it down, moving your baby down. When I do this spiraling is I close my eyes and I imagine this wonderful, pure, white, energizing energy just melting into my head, being spiraled down throughout my body, entering into my baby, awakening all of my organs. And it's really important that you do this exercise really often and get used to the movement of your body. Because during birth, movement is incredible. Movement really helps to make things more comfortable. During the last part of your pregnancy, your baby's trying to get into the right position for birth. And the right position for your baby is head down, their spine to your stomach. You don't want your baby's spine to your spine because that's what causes back labor. And in order to prevent that from happening, you always want to make sure during the latter part of your pregnancy that you are sitting straight up postures. You're going to want to avoid laying down on the couch. You're going to want to avoid being in recliners. Just take your chair at work, take your chair at home, and replace it with the birthing ball, because when you sit on the birthing ball, you're in the exact perfect position you're supposed to be in to get your baby into the perfect positioning for birth, which is straight up posture. Your knees either level with your hips or lower than your hips. You never want your knees to be above your hips because that could cause your baby to turn. So you don't want your baby to turn, you want your baby to stay in the right position. And as you can see, just by sitting on the ball, your knees are perfectly where they're supposed to be. And during the last part of your pregnancy, it starts to get pretty uncomfortable, and it's hard to get up from chairs and stuff. It's really easy to get up from the birthing ball. When your pregnancy gets to be towards that last month or so, and it's really big and you just feel like there's no more room for your baby to grow and your body's achy and you're tired, the birthing ball is absolutely God sent to help bring at least a little bit of comfort. Really, I just loved draping myself over the birthing ball, and it just relaxed all of my muscles. So when I had one of those long, hard days and I just was tired and I just couldn't wait for my baby to come and my back and my hips were sore, I just would come home and just drape myself over the birthing ball and just relax. And it automatically takes all of the tension off of your back, off of your head. And you could lay there, you could rock side to side. These moves are also really terrific to use during your birth as well. They open up the hips. You could rock front to back. You could start practicing your spirals while you're down here. You could just start spiraling your hips. And using the birthing ball for this just adds that extra little bit of comfort that you need. You could wag your tail side to side, releasing all the tension from your hips. During your birth, one of the things you can do with your birthing partner is your birthing partner can sit on the ball facing towards you, and their legs will be right here, and you could just lean yourself over their knees and just relax. You could rock yourself back and forth. Or if you have a bed or a couch or something like that that's in front of you, I don't right now, but we'll pretend like there is one. You could sit on the birthing ball and just lean yourself over to rest on top of the bed. And that would give you enough support, and you could move yourself. You could do the spirals, you could do front and back, side to side, whatever you feel comfortable with. So I hope that you practice some of those moves, and I hope that you use the birthing ball to help you, because it really is awesome. You'll see once you get one, once you start using it, you'll be like, oh, I don't know how I survived without my birthing ball.